Welcome back to part 2, where I'm going to be building the substrate, building the hardscape, adding the plants. Make sure to subscribe for part 3. Let's get into it. So that might actually be the perfect amount, yeah? I don't want the black gravel coming all the way to the front of the tank. I'm gonna put that as decorational sand. So I'm gonna pull all the gravel back. So I think this may be the perfect amount. I've decided I'm gonna add in some power grow. This stuff is quite similar, it's quite porous rock, but it has added nutrients, humic acid, peat and carbon in there as well. So I'm just going to add this to bulk out the substrate a little further. Quite a bit thicker. I've also got some aqua health beneficial bacteria. On top of that, I'm going to add the Ludwigia base fertilizer just to cover all the beneficial bacteria. I also have some aqua soil just to bulk it out a bit more that I've had lying around for a while, so I'm going to use this as well. So this wood I actually found about an hour and a half away from my house, near the beach. I put it into my surf rack and carried it the whole way home. Right now it's a bit too high and a bit too long, so I'm just gonna cut the edges off, shorten it, so it can fit the aquarium. I'm not really liking that the arch is right in the middle, but I do like that line coming up here. I'm going to try and move it to the left, see if it looks any better. It's going to be hard to clean the left side of the tank with that there. I may just choose to move it back into the middle a little bit more. Yeah, the arch is just off center. I don't know, the arch looks very centered. I don't really like that, but I do like this bit coming across to here. I'm going to fill this gap here in between the front glass and the soil with this just decorational sand. And after that I'm going to create my own sand. I'm going to mix 2 or 3 different types of sand to cover this whole thing up. going to create a mix of sand using this plain sand, a few bags of plain sand, this multicolored sand, and a little bit of this different coloured sand as well. There's all different grain sizes in here as well, so it'll look more natural. I'm not going to use too much of this. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So I'm happy with the mix, the colour looks good. Now I'm going to add it into the tank. I'm a little bit worried that this big piece of wood here is going to float. So before I put the rest of the sand in, I want to get this into its final position, attach some of these big rocks to the wood. So I want this piece here more forward. But I'm going to need a rock to keep this in place. It'll stay. And maybe this piece here. Something like this. Sorry about the reflections, but I like this rock. There's a lot of reflection there. Yeah, I really want this bit quite far forward, so I've got loads of room in the background for stem plants. I think I might also add some pieces of hardscape here and here around the rock, maybe behind the rock, something sticking up into the background, maybe something coming in through here also. But let's see what I can find. Now I'm happy with the position of the hardscape. I can cover all the substrate with sand. I've had a little play around off camera and I've come up with something that looks like this. Pretty happy with how it's turned out. It's turned out pretty good. I'm not going to glue it yet, because I do want to add moss, I think, to all of these. How's that look? So I'm thinking I want a few mossy rocks scattered around the foreground and the midground as well. Sitting just behind him. I feel like this one would look great. Just continuing on from this rock here. Leave a little gap so I can plant in between that. That'll look quite cool. This little piece, just poking out here. Might be a bit too small. I'm going to remove this and try this piece. Sorry about the reflections, but I'll try to get another shot later when the lights are off. It looks a lot more realistic with all the stone in there, all the scatter stone. I think I need a little bit more in the middle. Okay, so I'm about to put water in the tank. This is going to take an incredibly long time, so I'm not going to make you watch this. I did want to put Java moss on the wood first, but I can't find any Java moss, so I have to do that at a later date. But let's get it filled up. It's the next day, the tank is full, the filter's running, and the water is cloudy. I think we might have a bit of a bacteria bloom going on, but I'm going to do a few water changes over the next few days. I've also bought my first couple of plants for the tank, just some epiphytes. But once I get a new light for this tank, then I can buy their stem plants and start planting all the stems. So let's get to it. Okay, so the first plant is going in. Let's choose a position. What do you think? I've got another beautiful piece of Anubias here. The other one has kind of crinkled leaves. These leaves are slightly smaller and have a different texture to the leaf. I was going to try and plant facing into the tank like this, but the reflections are too much, so I'm going to film from above. But I think this will look great, just wedged against this wood in here. Maybe a little bit lower. Or even from the underside. Yeah, maybe I'll place it under. Something like this. I can feel a ton of biofilm all over the wood, but give it a few days, hopefully that should disappear. I have a light, and I'll put this on the floor. It's nothing fancy, but I've used this, well, the smaller version on quite a few of my tanks here. And it works pretty well. It grows plants well, the fish look great under it, and it's pretty cheap. So let's test it out on the tank. Okay, so the light is in place. It's very thin and foamy. Makes a bit of a noise if you touch it. Don't like that sound. But very streamlined. I like the chrome colour. Let's turn it on and light up the tank. Okay. It looks good. We're getting way less reflections now that we have the light on the tank. It's going to make filming the rest of this a lot easier. Got 2 plants in so far. Now I can plant the stem plants and they shouldn't die. So today I'm going to go buy loads of new plants and just start fully planting the tank. Look at that biofilm right there. I'm going to go with a toothbrush and help it along, scrape it off. This is the first water change I've done. we're at around 50%, maybe a little less than 50%. So let's fill it back up and then we'll do another water change at the end of the week. I think this is my favourite plant in the whole hobby. It's the tiger lily. I thought I might as well plant while the water is still low. So before I fill the tank back up, I'm going to add in some plants. Now we have the light, we can see that there's a little swim through or a territory for some of the fish to make home. I'm going to leave that gap open. Okay, so this one is just called Pakis in the shop. I tried planting this once before, I think, but I didn't have any success. But this tank has a much better substrate system, so fingers crossed. A little bit of the same plant on both sides. So I'm going to go in here with this. A bit more Pakis. Okay, so last stem plant to go in. Ludwigia palustris. I'm just about to add 2 pots of this on each side of the tank. I forgot the name of it. Is this Kabomba? Someone remind me in the comments. Yeah, let's get this in here. It's going to go at the back, right here, behind the rest of the plants. Also got another piece of Anubias here, which will fit great in that gap between the rocks. So we've got another 2 here, looking very healthy. These are going to go in the opposite side. This is going to be hard to film, but it's all going in this back corner here. I won't film it all, but you get the picture. Going right in this back corner. Gonna fill out this whole space with this now, 2 pots. Okay, so this back section is all planted now. Soon that should all grow nice and high and be popping out over the top of this piece of wood. Same for that side. Next I'm going to plant a few crypts. So I have a whole bunch of crypts here, ranging from small to medium. These are going to go in the mid to foreground. Okay, so the crypts are in the tank. Got that new bit of Anubias in there. All the background plants are planted. I'd say we're at about 80% planted now. I just want to plant a little bit of hair grass in and around the place. And I've ordered some Busha Palandra just to add to the wood. Maybe I'll add a couple of other little plants along the way. I want to add a few stones and rocks in there as well. But I'm pretty happy with the progress. I think we'll leave it there for now. And then I'll keep coming back and do some more updates. I'll do a trim and add the rest of the stem plants once it's trimmed and make the background look nice and thick, nice and dense. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's looking for now. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you've hit subscribe, because in the next video I'm going to be adding some fish. I'm going to be planting the rest of the plants, and also tell me what fish you would choose to stock this tank with. See you in the next one.